So, have you ever felt overwhelmed, stifled, or trapped by the never-ending judgments of other people? Maybe you've laid awake at night worried about what somebody was thinking about you. Maybe you worried about how you'd be perceived at an upcoming meeting or party. Hey, look, you're not alone. Our society is obsessed with what others think of us. The thing here is, though, the haters aren't out there. They're all in here. But first, why? Why do we give a shiitake about what other people think of us? What gave birth to this inner hater that we all have? Well, let's talk about the origin of social approval craving. We must journey back to 50,000 years BC in Ethiopia to understand this relentless drive for social approval. Back then, being part of a tribe was critical to survival. A tribe meant food and protection in a time when neither was easy to come by. So, for your great-grandfather to the 2000th power, almost nothing in the world was more important than being accepted by his fellow tribe members, especially those in positions of authority. And his worst nightmare was people in the tribe whispering about how annoying or unproductive or weird that he was. If enough people disapproved of him, his ranking within the tribe would drop, and if it got really bad, he'd be kicked out altogether and left for dead. So this need for acceptance became hardwired into our DNA, resulting in an overpowering desire for social approval and a paralyzing fear of being disliked. So here are the 5 lives of the inner hater. The hater says, everybody is talking about me and my life. The truth is, no one really gives a shiitake about you. You might think everybody is constantly scrutinizing your action, but the truth is people are primarily self-absorbed. Meet Andrea, a talented young woman who recently landed her dream job at a prestigious marketing firm. She was excited, but also terrified of making mistakes in front of her new colleagues. Andrea's inner hater convinced her that everybody was constantly watching and judging her every move. So one day, Andrea spilled coffee on herself during a meeting. Mortified, she envisioned a tidal wave of gossip and ridicule. She imagined her colleagues labeling her as clumsy and incompetent. She even feared that her boss would reconsider her position at the company. But as the day went on, Andrea noticed nobody seemed to care about her coffee incident at all. People were focused on their own tasks, meetings, and deadlines. The imagined whisperers and stares never materialized. Andrea decided to confide her fear in a friendly coworker named Emily. And to her surprise, Emily shared a similar story of her own. Emily had once accidentally sent a funny meme to the boss instead of to a friend and was sure that she would be the laughing stock of the office. But like Andrea's coffee spill, nobody seemed to care or even remember the incident. That is when it hit Andrea. She had fallen victim to the inner hater's lie. The lie that everybody was talking about her and her life. She finally realized that her colleagues don't really give a shiitake about her, particularly her coffee incident. Just like her, they had their own worries, insecurities, and tasks to focus on. From that day on, Andrea made a conscious effort to shut down her inner hater, and quickly. She no longer lets the fear of judgment control her actions. The other hater lie. If I try really hard, I can please everyone. The truth is, nope, you can't. No matter how hard you try. In today's diverse world, trying to please everybody is impossible. Imagine a talented juggler performing on a bustling street. He gracefully keeps 3 balls in the air, mesmerizing the crowd. A passerby hands him a 4th ball and he incorporates it effortlessly. Then another onlooker tosses him a 5th and he struggles but manages to keep juggling. As more people gather around, each handing him more items of different shapes and sizes, a hat, an umbrella, a pineapple, the juggler's act becomes increasingly difficult and chaotic. As he desperately tries to keep everything in motion, the once enchanted crowd begins to disperse, disappointed by the messy performance. The juggler finally loses control, dropping everything to the ground, exhausted and overwhelmed. The juggler's futile attempt to please everyone mirrors our own struggles when trying to satisfy everyone around us. Just like the juggler, we may initially succeed in pleasing a few people, but as we attempt to meet the diverse expectations of others, our performance falls apart, and we are left feeling depleted and unfulfilled. Don't even try. Attempting to please others is a fool's errand. The third hater lie, being talked about negatively, has real consequences in my life. The truth is, sticks and stones, and you remember that one. Picture a majestic oak tree standing tall in a field. Over the years, people have carved their judgments and harsh words into its bark. Yet, despite these superficial scars, the oak tree continues to thrive, its roots growing deeper and its branches reaching higher. Like the oak tree, we too have faced disapproval and negative talk from others. However, these criticisms are mere scratches on the surface, unable to impact our inner strength and growth. When we recognize that the opinions of others hold little sway over our lives, we can continue to flourish, staying grounded in our values and reaching for our dreams, just as the oak tree stands unwavering, unaffected by the marks on its bark. Don't let your inner hater deceive you into believing that others' opinions hold significant power over your life. The fourth lie of the hater: judgmental people matter. The truth is, judgmental people are a-holes. Judgmental individuals often surround themselves with like-minded people, feeding off each other's negativity. They may talk negatively about others to boost their self-esteem or to validate their poor life choices. Think of judgmental people like noisy cicadas in a lush forest. They create a cacophony, momentarily drawing attention to themselves, but they can't change the richness and the beauty of the forest itself. As their noise fades and the forest remains unaltered, it's still full of life and splendor. Similarly, judgmental people may create momentary distractions in our lives, but they don't determine our worth and most certainly our happiness. Understand that their judgment is more about their own insecurities than it is about you at all. Don't allow their opinion to dictate your actions. And lie number 5, the hater lie is, I'm a bad person if I disappoint or offend the people who love me. Here's the truth. Just be you, the best that you can be. That's all you can do. When a caterpillar transforms into a butterfly, it might disappoint those who admired its previous form. But this change is essential for its growth and transformation into its true potential. Likewise, when we leave the herd of normality to evolve and grow, we may disappoint or even offend some loved ones. But our personal growth and self-discovery should not be stifled. True love supports growth and will ultimately understand and celebrate our transformation, just as the butterfly emerges vibrant and free. Now that we have clapped back on the hater within, it's time to challenge yourself to break free from this incessant approval-seeking mindset. So here are some hater-killing questions to consider. Can you recall a time when somebody else's judgment affected your choices? In hindsight, how might you have responded differently to stay true to yourself? What personal values and passions are most important to you? How can you better prioritize them over external opinions? How can you practice empathy and understanding towards judgmental people, recognizing that their opinions often stem from their own insecurities and fears? Remember, you possess the strength to face and triumph over the inner hater that might be sabotaging you. Doing so will unleash your incredible potential and you'll experience a happier, more fulfilling life. You are good. You are capable. You are worthy. Fully embrace your true self and shine your unique light on the world.